glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Remember,
Let's go, chat. Somebody say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Oh man, good to see everybody. Good to see everybody this morning. Hopefully my mic sounds clear. We was having some audio issues yesterday. I was trying to get some recordings done last night through StreamYard. We had a few issues, so hopefully they're fixed. Trying to make sure everything's squared away. Y'all, we've been up since probably like 3:30, so y'all know how those mornings go, meaning we've been dissecting a lot of information when it comes to Alabama football. This is the hot time of the year. We're talking recruiting. We're talking about pre-fall walkthroughs, something, midsummer walkthroughs and workouts. You got guys that'll be showing up for fall camp here in the next, 2 to 3 weeks now. Where are we at? In the middle of June. So right there in the middle of July, you'll see guys back on campus for getting prepped for fall camp. So it's about to get real spicy here for college football, not just for Alabama Nation, but for college football. So tap in this morning. Good morning. Glad to see everybody. Mary J, you can go ahead and scroll them comments. Let me fix the camera view. Don't they look like I'm sitting a little too? Okay, now we looking good. Hey, chat, do y'all see the difference in the lighting? We almost got this thing squared away. Let me know if y'all had to give me a camera quality today. What y'all giving it on a scale of 10? We giving it a 2. It was a 0 yesterday. What we giving it? Let me try to adjust it just one more time, and then I think that should be better. That's better. I think we in a lot better shape. What's up, Zach? Good to see you this morning. Good to see my brother Zach, man. Let me know if y'all can hear the applause better today. See, Greg, what's good, my brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody. Jordan, my brother, bro. I see everybody in the chat over there on TikTok too, man. Grind hard, Lady Was. What's up? What that Super Dupe 15. What's good? Good to see y'all over there on TikTok side. And then where we at? We on Facebook too, man. I see we got 2 viewers on Facebook already. So Facebook, y'all tap in. Want to see those comments, man. What's up, Dylan? What's up? Motivated, dedicated. Is that my brother? That's Mike, ain't it? That's Mike. Yeah, that's Mike. Y'all remember Mike the Marine. I think that's Mike the Marine. I think that's him. He used to be in the Discord chat back in the day. But y'all, I'm glad to see everybody in the chat today, starting the show early, trying to get it started on time. We just having a few technical issues every other day with all the upgrades that we're trying to do. Our PC is starting to, really feel the workload. So we're trying to keep this thing as far as workload, we're trying to keep it leveled out so that we can continue to produce this quality content as we continue to grow, man. And the demand is getting higher, so we're going to continue to provide it as we can. So tapping in, man. Thank y'all for being here at the 12-minute mark. You all have, if you haven't on the YouTube side, go ahead and share the video. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're tapping in late, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free, guys. I'm telling you right now. The thing is, a lot of people, they hear that word subscribe and they think it's automatically cost to something, but here on YouTube, to subscribe to YouTube channels, all you have to do is have a Gmail account and create you a YouTube account, and you don't have to post videos and stuff. You can have a private account and subscribe to channels so you don't lose track of your favorite content creators and the content that you love to follow. So appreciate that. Hey, hold on 1 minute. We are popping the day off right now with the big gun, my guy. And Mary J, I need you to add this to the banner. We're gonna give it a shout out, a proper shout out here in a second. Hold on 1 second. I got you, brother. And we're going to do it big for you. Hold on, brother. My guy. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. We ain't even said nothing good yet. And my guy said, I think that was last month, Dylan. And I like, as soon as I seen it pop up on the screen, I remember you saying it. And I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate your support. So shout out to Dylan, man, for the $20 donation and directly to the Coach Smook Network Cashapp, man. Straight direct donor. Let me get this device from over here so y'all can see. It ain't no game. I got Dylan Durham right there. Direct donor to the Coach Smook Network. Anytime y'all see this phone, this is the work phone. Anytime y'all see this phone come out on stream, that means something real is happening. This phone, it might be the kids. But this phone right here, that's why it's red. This the red alert phone. So when y'all do that, make sure y'all make sure I know. I want to make sure I know because I like to give y'all recognition. But shout out to Dylan, man, for the direct donor, man. Appreciate you for everything, my guy. Popping the show off, becoming the first co-sponsor on the stream in probably about a week. So let me see. Okay, I don't know what happened on TikTok, but we're still live. I don't know what it is. It says we're not visible. I don't know. But hopefully we're able to be seen over there. But Dylan, appreciate you, man. Roll Tide, my brother. Appreciate the direct donor. Mary J, please get that banner updated so we could get my brother. I think I put in a private chat for you. No rush on it. There you go. Ooh, look at it. And then look at the font today, y'all. I don't think y'all be noticing Mary J be pulling us in the loop with these fonts, man. Like, she really be making the on-screen presence really felt here at the Coach Smook Network. So diving into the conversations, I got to rush it. Now we got 20 seconds to get this thing kicked off by the 15-minute mark. We're talking about the high stakes at Alabama, not just on the field, but off the field, in recruiting, behind the scenes, all of that. I'm going to give some hot takes on it, create some conversation today, and we're going to dive into that conversation here on the Coach Smook Network. W's in the chat for Dylan, W's in the chat for the AAA family. And remember, man, it's time to get into it. Somebody say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's do it, everybody.
You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips? The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
It's not going to take us a lot of time. But I want to say that I'm excited about what...
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Get into it.
Let's get into it, y'all. Listen, Alabama, the stakes are high. We know the fan base knows it. The fan base knows it. We have a demand, right? We have a demand this year. We want to return back to the level of production, winning, dominance that we were at one point during Coach Saban's tenure, right? And I want to dive into the conversation today and just kind of put us all back into this reality that we need to really live in this day and age of college football. And I've been wanting to talk about this for about 2 weeks now, and I think this is the time to really jump into this conversation as I transition phones and all this keyboards and stuff. So talking about it today, man, we're breaking it down. Everybody loves to talk about, man, this Coach Kalen DeBoer, this new era of college football is this and that, and you know, people not gonna be able to adapt into winning. People ain't bought in no more. It's all about money. It's all about check. It's not really that bad. If y'all really want to be honest, that's what we're here to do. Authenticity above all. We want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Money has always been a catalyst in shifting the competition barrier, right? Giving you the advantage. It's always had to play at the collegiate level. Now it's just on more public front and not at an even playing field. And some of your other universities that haven't been able to benefit from being able to have that exposure, now they're able to benefit from it because of the even playing field. And so you got a lot wider talent spread. You have more schools being able to evaluate more talent, right? And now you see the competition level at the collegiate level because guys are spreading out. You're not having Alabama being able to stack 6 years worth of talent, you know, in one class because it's Alabama. And that's the only way to the NFL. Now you're seeing, you know, where you really got to go and try to get 2 years worth of classes in your recruiting class. You got to go and start going 2 years ahead now and start really locking guys in to have some type of solidarity amongst your recruiting classes to maintain and retain these guys with the portal, NIL, all of this competitive bargaining with recruits. Now it's a whole different game and a different mindset. So let's do a reality check for what our expectations should be for this Alabama tenure, this new era of Coach Kalen DeBoer, Alabama, Courtney Morgan, the new era of Alabama football. And we're going to dive into the conversation. So starting off, let's talk about on the field. Let's talk about this season. I have a difference in opinion with Alabama's results last year. A lot of people think year one was a underachievement for Kalen DeBoer when it comes to the Alabama standard, right? And we try to make this vague argument, and we can put out stats that support each side of the argument. That's why I love to debate. When you really want to have a honest debate, you can open up both sides of the argument and realize that there are valuable points on both sides, right? Some say Kalen DeBoer had a more talented roster. Some say Coach Saban had just as much of a talented roster or just as much of a lack of talent to compete against during his tenure, right, when he first came in 2007. So they're conflicting arguments, or they're arguments that can coincide and support each statement, but that's neither here nor there. Now, what I would like to say is on that standpoint is we have so many different factors outside of the schematics on the field that have changed since 2007 that it's virtually impossible to sit there and dial in and say, okay, Kalen DeBoer did a better job than Coach Saban, or Coach Saban did a better job than Kalen DeBoer. The only thing you can really go off of is pure results, right? 7-6 is one side of the coin, and then 9-3 is the other side of the coin, right? That's all you can really go off of. And when you look at it like that, you really can take a step back and look at it and say, Kalen DeBoer is really, for him to be not as tenured, not as great on the ladder, as far as not as high up on the ladder as far as greatest coaches alive and his tenure as a head coach, right, at the collegiate level. For him to be such a young coach, to come in and follow up the GOAT and literally be one game worse on the overall record than the GOAT from last year. And I want to say the win-loss ratio, as far as how the losses came in the season, were virtually similar. You know, as far as the timing and how things peaked and kind of clipped out, and then you saw a regression, right, in the team production. So I think you saw kind of the same type of mindset or style carry over for a majority of I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm buzzing. For a majority of Kalen DeBoer's first season at the University of Alabama. make sure this is hooked up correctly. All right, and so we dive into the conversation, and we say, okay, you're starting to get a little point there. 9-3 first year. One game out of the SEC Conference Championship, right? And things are happening to where you see the same type of conversation that was happening in the offseason for Coach Saban is happening for Kalen DeBoer. Killing it in recruiting. 5-star considering Alabama. 5-star considering flip to Alabama after decommitment. Loaded recruiting class. Top 5-star athlete interest in Kalen DeBoer, new system, or all of these things so it's like nothing has really changed. The style, the presentation maybe, but nothing has really changed if we really sit back and think about it. So diving into year 2, walking into year 2, we can have this serious conversation about the realistic expectations of this team. All right. You look at everything that happened with the transition of last year. You didn't even give these guys a full 8 months to prepare for a season to go 9-3, and this staff was able to pull something together, get a roster together, get a group of young men to really believe in a concept and philosophies, while still being I guess you could say aware, cognizant, right? That's the big word. I'm trying to use big words today. Triple word Tuesdays. If Yahtzee, if for all my Yahtzees out there, you know what I'm saying? So what's up, Jarrell? Welcome in, man. Good to see you, man. Roll Tide, man. So I look at it. What's up, Russell? Good to see you. I'm looking at all these comments. They just now populating. Terrence, good to see you, family. I feel like Ty Simpson is going to have a Mac Jones type of season. I got a point on the quarterback situation here coming up soon. So stick around, my guy Terrence. And continue to like and share, y'all. I can't see the numbers right now. Where we at? Okay, we got 23 in the chat. Let's go. Run it up. Continue running likes up. 13 likes on the stream, 23 in the chat. Let's go, y'all. Run it up. Get some more people in here. We got the live right now. Tell them you're live with Coach Smook, having a conversation, talking about the high stakes at Alabama. What are our expectations? Expectation number 1. I think this year's expectation of playoff berth or bust. Playoff berth or bust is a realistic expectation. I think the stakes are. I don't think there is it should not be an unattainable goal today, this year, this season. It should not be unrealistic for the staff and the players that are currently at the University of Alabama that are representing the football program. There's no reason why they shouldn't feel like they can make it to the playoffs at least. Looking at the schedule, this is a favorable schedule, and that's no disrespect to any opponent. I just look at that amount of production surrounding all of the questions that we have, right? Primary question number 1 at the University of Alabama: who's the quarterback? Who's QB1? Presumably Ty Simpson, a brand new starter at the collegiate level, not a new player, has experience, just has not started at the collegiate level, right? The amount of snaps that he's been able to see, the amount of different schemes and walkthroughs he's been able, that's got to play a part in part of his development, right? That should translate onto the field. You're talking about a former 5-star recruit. He said it, and he's learned. He's going through multiple systems, just like Jalen Milroe. He's competed in multiple systems, just like Jalen Milroe. Wasn't able to clip Jalen Milroe, but that's beside the point. His time is now. He has an opportunity now. What do you do with your opportunity now? And I think outside of that, you're pretty confident in finding the answers everywhere else on the offensive side. And defensively, 9 returning starters from last year's defense. And we're not talking about Bray Hubbard as a starter, right? 9 returning starters. Then you add Bray Hubbard into that. You got 10 guys on the field that played heavy snaps last year for this defense in Kane Womack that ended up being a top 15 ranked overall efficiency defense, right? They struggled early in the season with a lot of concept things, seeing things differently or language. Guys weren't wrapping up, tackling well, and then they just flipped the switch. And then you see the production in spring, the amount of production on the back end. The secondary is probably going to be the best secondary in the SEC this year. I will argue that Alabama's secondary room will have the best production. They will have top to bottom, the most overall production, best production in the SEC. And maybe in the country, top 3 in the country. We all know Penn State is going to keep a good group of secondary guys, right? Ohio State has a talented group there, stacked with talent. Got Clemson looking good in their secondary. Ole Miss turned it on last year. They got some returning production. I know Amos is gone. But Ole Miss got some guys in the secondary too. So be on the lookout. Oregon once again, they're going to be looking good in the secondary. So you got a lot of quality secondaries, but this group right here we're going to see more depth and talent at the University of Alabama. We saw the rotation last year. I was watching the Alabama versus South Carolina game last night. And the amount of snaps because of Damani Jackson's injury that Zay Mincy and Jalen Mbakwe played in that game, they were intricate. Zay Mincy had to play. He came in on a dime safety set, right? You added another safety. They brought Mincy in. They walked Malachi in, down to the slot, brought Mincy in, and there was a out and up concept with trips, empty set, got trips right. The twins on the left, and the number 3 receiver, the number 3 receiver on the inside of the trips, he ran a delayed out and up. And Mincy was his assignment is number 2. You know, basically you're playing the number 2 as the dime safety over top on that side. And because of the switch release concept, he kind of got confused. But later on in the game, they tried to throw the same concept. They flipped it, and Mincy was to play the strong side once again, and he makes a play. He takes away the read. Not necessarily makes a play, but he takes away the read because, you know, he was able to turn over that knowledge. And you see that type of thing happening, and you can't do nothing but have the utmost confidence in this defensive production. So the stakes are high, right? Playoff berth. There's no reason to not be confident about what can happen at Alabama because of the return of production around your questions. My point number 2, when you talk about the stakes being high at Alabama, point number 2, I want to say the mindset is visible, right? A lot of times you have to see something over and over and over and over, and you have to see it regurgitated to really believe it. But I feel like with this group of guys, we don't have a Tyler Booker this year. You get what I'm saying? We don't have a spokesperson trying to convince the fans that we're still Alabama. I see guys in the locker room. I see guys at workouts. I see guys in training sessions. I really see like a dog mentality amongst this locker room. And to prove yourself, you have to put in the work. And if you guys have not been paying attention to some of the pictures that have been posted, you got these freshmen, their bodies are developing. Abdul-Sanders Jr. looks like Mac Wilson. We was talking about this yesterday. He looks just like, if they could pass for a family member, he looks like Mac Wilson. He looks like a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, junior size linebacker already. QB Reese filling out his frame. Luke Metz. All of these inside linebackers just putting on weight. You look at him standing next to Nick Abrams in that picture they took on his official visit, and you just see the difference in development. And you're talking about just a year difference, a year gap between these groups of guys, a year and a half, 2 years, right? Just the overall development, the strength and conditioning program at Alabama is preparing these guys. I look at the running back room. A.K. Deer, Kevin Riley has packed on some weight finally. I think he's touching that 200-pound mark. Putting on that, you know, because he has the quickness, has the speed, but he needs to put some weight on that frame. Then you got some of these other upperclassmen that, just look like they've been NFL ready for 3 years now. Jeremiah Beeman, his body transformation, showing up to Alabama at 260 now, 310, 315, and still moving like he was as a freshman. As an incoming recruit, highly talented 4-star recruit. My boy Jordan Wright says freshman already looking like grown man. Exactly, man. That's what happens when you're dedicated and you're bought into the process. Shout out to the 26 in the chat on YouTube, man. Continue to run those likes up. We need to get to our 25 like goal, man. Listen, we are on a 38-day streak. I lied to y'all yesterday. I told y'all I was 35, but we're on a 38-day streak where when we go live, 38 live streams in a row where we've gotten 25 likes or more. So continue that live streak for us. That'll be an awesome little feat to have 2 months in a row. Or two months worth of lives basically in a row where we're just continuing to hit that mark. And I appreciate each and every one of you in the chat. Don't forget to like. Hit that thumbs up. I see the numbers running up. I know y'all want to come in and get in the conversation, get tapped in, but don't forget to hit that like. And if you're just listening, huge announcement. I'm sorry, I gotta do this. It's not a fair weather fan report, but I think I could put the music on for it. I got an announcement. I gotta do this real quick. Let's do it. Huge announcement, Mary J. God is good. I'm gonna tell y'all why. gonna tell y'all why God is good. So we have been given a slot on Spotify, right? On Spotify. We will start, it's supposed to start airing in September. So after the Georgia game, basically, we're supposed to be guest appearing. They're going to basically streamline. We're not having to do anything extra. They're going to streamline the live show. Live here, that we're live, they're going to streamline it through Spotify for us. We have a whole thing set up in motion. We've been working on it for a couple of weeks now. And hey, listen, we've been doing it, and we had a goal, and y'all already clipped the goal. It was 15 days, but I wanted to push us to really see who's supporting, and just seeing who really trying to help your boy grow. Like I said, the likes and the reactions, the interaction is more important than any donation, than any gifted sub or anything of that nature. The likes are way more important. Trust me. And the comments. So if you're in the chat and you're able to comment, if you're even right now, like, you know, where you watching from, you know, let me know where you're watching from in the chat. I want to recognize you, even on TikTok. Yeah, if you're watching on TikTok or you're tapping in on TikTok, you really want to get the full effect of what this show is, come to the YouTube chat. Trust me, I promise you, you will not regret it. It's a good vibe over here. As a matter of fact, because I think we having issues over on TikTok, let's do a quick 2-minute intermission, Mary J. I'm gonna stop this TikTok stream. I'm not gonna go anywhere, chat. I'm gonna stop the TikTok stream over here. And we're going to get it started back up because it looks like something happened. I don't know, but we're going to get it back up and running. Let's remove it right here. Let's add it back right here. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me today too, man. Y'all already know it's we got to do it live like we do. We keep it honest. We keep it real. Alabama Football Talk with Coach Smook. Save and go live. Coffee. Chicken, bacon, ranch, barbecue. Chicken, bacon, ranch, barbecue. I think we back on TikTok. And we back. Appreciate that, Jarrell. Appreciate all the congrats too, man. I know when it's real. I know when it's love for real, man. I know. Hey, Spotify is huge, but the thing is, it's not Coach Smook's show, right? I'm streamlining through another network. And the progression of it is, the whole idea of it is to just kind of get a test feel of how the audience is going to react to be able to listen on Spotify, and then it also help test how we're collabing on that side of the space, how we can generate some more revenue to continue help the network grow. I don't think you all realize, like, literally my life right now is my brand and my what I'm doing in the industry, but also just myself. I'm an entrepreneur, so, you know, I know everybody been talking like, man, he look like he trying to put on some weight. Yeah, I got to get back in shape because, you know, fitness is something that I'm very passionate about. So y'all will see me going through that journey on the Smook Hines page on YouTube. Go check it out on YouTube, Smook Hines. Make sure y'all get over there and tap in so y'all can show your boy some love, man. And yeah, we good over there on TikTok. We back. All right, everybody, appreciate y'all for holding on for that little quick minute. Getting back into the show, let me know where you're watching from as we get ready to dive into this last point. We talked about, you know, the stakes being high. Number one being, you know, the culture. Is the expectation, is the playoff berth, is that too much to ask? No, it's not. It's expected. You talk about returning production around your questions. The returning production around your questions. That's the point number one. Returning production around your questions. We have plenty of it. You really have virtually no questions on defense, right? You don't need to find the next great pass rusher because you have 6 or 7 guys in that room right now that can go out and give you the same clip of equal production if you rotate them the right way. You find the right rhythm, you find the right skill set to insert and create a mismatch against, and that's what you're able to do right now. Maybe not as much experience as far as down the depth chart, but you got skill sets that you can literally put in strategic situations. Same thing on the offensive side. Keep your quarterback in safe situations because you have electric players up and down the roster. The running back room is severely underrated. And I don't think people understand the type of valuable assets we have in the running back room. Jam Miller. I was watching Jam Miller run against South Carolina last night. Tough runner. Broke like 6 tackles on one run. Didn't hand the ball off to him again. Jalen Milroe. Didn't hand the ball off to him again. for almost another quarter and a half. Making the playoffs should be the minimum expectation. We should win the Natty in my eyes. Smooth, I agree. I think people need to understand what getting to the Natty looks like, though, because a lot of people think a 9-3 regular season can't get you into the Natty. But I'm here to tell you, and I'm a firm believer in that nobody will finish undefeated this season. Nobody. Regular season, I don't think no team in college football has the opportunity. No Power 4 team. Let's put that in perspective. Let's say Power 4 team. You might get Boise State or somebody like that to slide in and get one of those teams where they not really playing in a major conference, But you might get a situation like that. But I don't think anybody in the SEC is finishing undefeated. You might have one team that might be one loss. I think you'll have 2 or 3 2-loss teams, and then maybe three. I think it's a possibility to have one loss team and two loss teams, and then 4 3-loss teams, because just how the numbers fall in the SEC. Like, you could have 4 or 6 conference records can align. I don't think overall season records, something like that. We was going to do a chart and break that down another day, but just those things factor into why I believe the production around our questions puts us in the driver's seat for the SEC this year. Expectation wise, the stakes are high. I agree. Number 2, you talk about the culture, right? We talk about culture, mindset, mentality. There is not a lot of talking at the University of Alabama. You have to go and find these coaches for interviews. You have to go and find these players for interviews in the offseason. You see them doing their charity work. You see them giving back to their communities, and you see them training. They're practicing being professional athletes. Literally, that's what it looks like. A bunch of professional athletes, young, junior professional athletes out there. They're dedicated, man. And when you hear them talk, when you hear them speak, when I hear the language starts to sound a lot like everybody's on the same page. If you all are believers, or if you ever read the Bible, when they started building the Tower of Babylon, what made that group of people, all those nations come together, what made them so powerful is that they were speaking the same language. What made Ohio State such a great team, they were on the same page on every level you could think of. On every level you could think of, they were on the same page. And it showed in the playoffs. They were a machine. They were a team that really, when it came down to it, nobody was clicking like Ohio State. When the time came to it, after they lost to Michigan in the regular season, you saw them really perform that gut check moment. It was a gut check moment for them. And they showed up and they did what they had to do. I get the same type of feels around Alabama's locker room right now. And I more so think it's a true player-led agenda. And when you have players and leaders on that team that you can trust like that to be leaders and keep your team on the track, now you can focus on coaching. Now your administrative staff, your recruiting staff can focus on recruiting, because they know the agenda. So when it's time for recruits to be on campus and you need to really show them the value of your program and the asset they could be if they was to join up with you, you trust them. You could do it. So that's number 2. Final point number 3, as we dive into our next topic, we're going to get into some recruiting at the 45-minute mark here on the Coach Smook Network. And don't forget, continue to like and tap the screen. If you're over there on TikTok, tap that screen for your boy. We really hit some goals on TikTok. 8.5K likes on the last morning show live. That was crazy. Devin, K, Nicole, appreciate everybody for pulling up on TikTok. Y'all tap that screen for your boy. Hit that follow if you're not already following. And if you really want to tap in, come over to the YouTube side. Coach Smook on YouTube. We're live. Third point, and I'm kind of shooting from the hip on this one, but it's kind of a reoccurring theme with the fan base, right? And I don't want this to. I'm not going to say that it affects what happens on the field. But in retrospect, we have learned through the Tides That Bind, right? That was the name of that series, right? We have learned through that these players truly see and they hear what we say as fans on these social media sites, right? And it's okay to be a fan. It's okay to criticize. It's okay to hold a child accountable or a player accountable, right? But I think how you do it really matters in this day and age. Call it soft. Call it, new age, whatever. It's evolution. It's the evolution is what happens in society as humans. We evolve. Things change, right? Every year things change. My guy Sully says, definitely feel like last year wasn't the best. Everyone not dialed in. Most didn't want to be there. Players talking to coaches, daughters, and more. It was a lot of crazy stuff going on. And that's what you have when you have a clash of culture. You have guys who feel like they have this seniority or this concept of seniority because they were a part of a tradition that they didn't even really contribute to. Name a player on the 2024, 2023 roster. Well, let's say 2023 roster, right? That came to the 2024 roster, actually contributed to an Alabama national championship. What player on that roster was on the 2020 roster, Alabama's last national championship? I'll take it even further. What player on that roster was on that roster that contributed to the playoff berth from the year before, with Jalen Miro as a first-year starter? So this seniority mindset of we know how to win because we've been at Alabama, Kayla and the board, that was a clash. And it started this show after week 4 in Vanderbilt game when it came push to shove and guys were running wrong plays, missing blocks, doing all this flashy stuff. You're not creating the right culture by being a leader. And when guys started having to have those conversations in the locker room, just because you're a junior doesn't mean you're a leader. I'm sorry. True freshman right here got his notepad out. I need you to slide over. I got my guy that can't. He knows how we do it. Slide over. Move down. And if you look at that clip, and I want y'all to, I wish I had it. I didn't think about it till just now. I told y'all I'm shooting from the hip. If you look at it right now, I'm telling you, go look at how that roster, the wide receivers were sitting in that film room on that clip during that show we was watching together. And we're gonna go back and watch that whole series again. I think we could do a watch party for that one day. For all our Bama fans, the ties that bind. Not Malachi. Malachi. I feel like Malachi was the epitome of what this program needed to realize that this is really changing. He held himself to the highest regard. And we're kind of stuck on that topic with the culture, right? We're talking about the culture change. That's a conversation we can have for hours. But I want to cap it off with this. I think last year you saw the transitioning happen. And guys that really did not fit the mold, they exited stage left. You see the culture really flip. Now, guys, even those guys that had to leave, they tried. They tried to buy in. They tried, to buy in to a certain extent. And it was. So I think we're in a good position to be not just a dominant team, right? But a team that's going to showcase it because of the mindset that's been adopted inside the locker room. That's point number 2. Point number 3, you just look at the overall landscape of the college football, not just the college football, the SEC. Let's talk about the SEC, the overall landscape of the SEC. I think there's 3 teams that can really look at their roster and say they're confident about everything that's supposed to be filled, replacing, or returning, right? One is LSU. I think they're confident. I don't think they're the best in certain spots. They're confident with their secondary, what they're going to scheme up and do defensively, right? I think they're good at their defensive front. Their linebacker group is going to be very talented again, right? If they stay healthy, they can be a solid defense. The secondary, they're going to find guys in the second. LSU, DBU number 3, right? Another team that I'm looking at, and I'm looking at TikTok chat. Tavares Lacey, appreciate you for pulling in, man. Appreciate you for pulling up over here on the Coach Smook Network on the Coach Smook TikTok. Hey, Tavares, if you really want your comments seen, pull up on the YouTube side, man. I want to put your comments on the stream. We can put them on the chat here on the YouTube side at Coach Smook on YouTube, man. And everybody else on the TikTok side, if you're tapping in on TikTok, I don't too much care for you to watch me on TikTok, honestly. I just came over here to let you know. I just came to let you know we're live on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? So come up on that YouTube side, man, and drop a like for your boy. Help us continue to grow. But you're absolutely right, Tavares. We're talking about Auburn is a team that is really set up to answer their questions. You got an offensive coordinator, offensive-minded head coach in Hugh Freeze. We know he's going to be in control of the play calling. He has an asset, a weapon like Jackson Arnold, who had skill sets that he could have been used more effectively at Oklahoma, right? Just wasn't a good schematic fit, right? Didn't translate like they thought it would. He makes a switch. Hugh Freeze really bends his system around his quarterback. So I think Auburn is another solid team that's confident. I'm not saying that they're going to be a good team. I'm just saying they're confident, they're solid. You look at what they're bringing back and how they're going to replace things. Their secondary, they got to find those questions, but they got a good enough front seven and depth in the front seven to say, like, we're going to figure it out. That's what Georgia's been able to do for the longest under Kirby's tenure. They've been able to throw a lot of young talent out there, or a lot of inexperienced veterans in their secondary, get a good mix of that early in the season because of the type of talent and depth production up front that they build and stack. And they're able to retain guys, and they're able to convince guys, hey, you develop a year, be a rotational player a year as a top end guy. Give me 2 years, your first round draft pick. And that's what he's been able to do. Second round draft pick. And that's for the secondary. You haven't seen a lot of guys in Georgia secondary go in the first round. You've seen one or two come through every blue moon. Right? But as a team, when you talk about Georgia, you automatically think that they have a good secondary. It's because of the front. So they're gonna be talented up front. Can they put it together? I think they have a few questions on the offensive line, and of course the quarterback position. Georgia is going to be in trouble, but Auburn is on the opposite side of that. I think they're good in the offensive line. I think they're good in the wide receiver room. They're going to find out who the guys are going to be. The quarterback, Jackson Arnold, if he catches a stride, man, it's going to be dangerous. And then their secondary is just horrible. But they got a good enough front, just like Georgia has always done. Now you're going to be able to see it. And then, of course, Alabama, the production around our questions, all of that production returning, man, is the amount of snaps that you see returning on the offensive line, right, alone is just amazing. You know, Cam Dewberry being added to this group. You got 3 returning starters in Parker Brailsford, Caden Proctor, Jaden Roberts, and then you got Wilkin Formby, who played a lot of snaps last year, man in that right tackle position, presumably. Then you got Geno Vandermark as your first guy off the bench. You got a lot of young guys who are just starting to blossom. See, a lot of people forget about Olis Alanin, Case, and Poe, Will Sanders. Those guys that are now, I think, they're juniors, right? That group is juniors. We forget about those guys, but they're probably just now blossoming. And the good thing about it is they're creating that depth. Tavares Lacey, he said, your real opinion on Bama DBs and running backs. All right, we could transition into that. But my final thoughts on these high stakes, right? Why is the stakes so high at Alabama? One, the questions around the production around your questions, the amount of production around your questions on your roster, really they balance it out, man, to where it makes it a little bit, it tilts more in the favorable aspect. You're talking about the amount of production compared to your questions. I think there's more production returning than more questions than we have, right? Now, the big question, quarterback, it does take up a lot of that question weight, but I don't think you are without options that can answer that question. Let's be realistic here, right? Now, on the defensive side, I think it's more so about re-solidifying the leaders in the inside linebacker room, finding 1 or 2 explosive pass rushing assets that can really be spot pass rushers and specialize in that. And then just utilizing your depth in the interior. The rotational depth in the interior is going to be key. All right. Number 2 point, culture, mindset. Not a lot of talking, a lot of action, a lot of work being put in. A lot of presence, right? A lot of presence. You're talking about official recruiting, the recruiting visit presence, right? Guys coming back from out of town to make sure that they're there when a guy at their position is being recruited, not shying away because they're scared or saying like, man, he ain't come and take my spot. No, they showing up, hey man, come compete, bro. You want to be great? We competing up here. You get what I'm saying? And then also the last thing we just talked about, just past mindset, past culture. We just talk about the landscape of teams that I feel like are sure about their roster, right? Right? The confidence in rosters. You talk about LSU, you talk about Auburn, you talk about Alabama. I think Texas, as much as the fan base is talking, I think that staff is really keying on Ohio State game to really find some answers. Because that could be a make or break game for a team like Texas. It could be confidence booster, being that it's week 1. How you take it? I think they're gonna lose, but if they lose a close one, that's a good thing for them. But if they go out there and it's a 4-possession type spread, Texas could go ahead and prepare for a rough year, because that means you're allowing Ohio State's brand new quarterback, starting quarterback, and some of the offensive skill pieces that are returned, you're allowing them the opportunity to just go crazy. 4 possessions, or your offense is being shut down by the athletic defense, that productive defense, all their veterans that they're returning. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Texas. I don't think they're returning enough answers, production, to really go into this season confident. I look at Georgia, same thing. You know, some of the powerhouses. I think Florida is still right there, right? They still have the questions, but I think they're trending in the right direction. They're not as, I don't think they're fully confident, but they're trending in that confident direction of what they have available. And if you ask around the Florida Gators coverage, right, a lot of their, I guess you could say analysts and beat writers, they're feeling a difference in change of culture at the University of Florida. I don't know what Billy Napier is doing. Maybe the boosters and stuff are finally buying in because they're actually paying attention to the quality of recruits he's bringing in. So I think it's looking up for Florida this year. And if they were to turn the corner or turn the curve and really start being a weekly or yearly, year in, year out title contender, I think this will be the year that it happens with DJ Lagway coming to his a full year as the full-time starter. So, and that's just a few teams. Tennessee is going to be in trouble this year, I think. Starting off early, I think they'll figure it out late. Oklahoma, I think, will be a team right there in the middle of the rough. You know, they'll be in more games than they'll be out of this year. You know, 6-6 was not Oklahoma standard. I think they might get the 8 win clip, 8-4. I think they could be a 9-3, 7-5 team. At worst, 7-5. So, who else? Who is OSU starting quarterback? I'm here right now that it's your boy Julian Sayin. Let's go look at their depth chart real quick before we transition to our last topic. Let's check it out. Yep, Julian Sayin. And they got their 5-star quarterback, Tavian St. Clair. He's third on the depth chart based off of our lads, and I'll show y'all real quick. This is where I go when I try to get a good idea of what type of production is returning for rosters. And this is what I'm saying about Ohio State. A lot of new names, but a lot of production on this roster, and a lot of high-end recruits. Let me share this screen real quick. We're going to talk about this real quick. I'm glad we're talking about Ohio State. Good question, Dylan. Appreciate you for bringing it up. Talking about the starting quarterback. So right now, our lads is predicting Julian Sayin to be the starter. And I think he fits that system. I don't think Sayin would have been a good fit for what Kalen DeBoer and his staff like to do. His vertical ball is not the best. I don't think he's much of a reliable vertical passing threat. You know, like on what you see on roster here at Alabama. Let me fix my camera real quick. I wasn't centered. But you see Julian Sayin there, then Lincoln Keenholz, right? And then Tavian St. Clair. Where did Aaron Nolan go? Wasn't he on that roster last year too? Now, Bo Jackson. Y'all remember Alabama was targeting this young man early in the recruiting last summer. It was like a lot of hype around him being Bo Jackson, possibly going to Alabama with that name. Well, we saw how for real he was. I think realistically, this man might be able to contribute this year. And I got confirmation that Turbo is not fourth on this depth chart. I got full confirmation that Turbo is not fourth on this depth chart. Shout out to my young Anthony Turbo Rogers, man. I'm so proud of the young man. A lot of people would have succumbed to that pressure of staying committed to Alabama, but schematically, the young man was not going to fit at Alabama. I want to see every recruit that I ever interact with, every young man that I cover. I want to see them get the best opportunity that's going to help them get to the NFL or get to reach their goals. And at the end of the day, that's not always Alabama. It's not always Alabama. So Turbo at Ohio State, I love that for him, man. I love that for him. A receiving back is always, like in Ryan Day's offensive schemes, backs that have good hands, they've always found success. And he's just going to create value for himself. We already know he's pretty undersized for a collegiate running back, but he done put on some weight, man. I think he left here at about 165, 170. And I saw him like 3 weeks ago, I believe, almost a month ago now. And he probably like 190, 195, pushing 200. I mean, just got up there and is dedicated. So, yeah, man, I love to see it. Dylan Durham says, I'm pretty sure every wide receiver Ohio State has in the lineup this year were the number one wide receiver. The past, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They stack. Let's go back to I'm gonna go back to it right here. I just wanted to talk about the quarterback room. I knew they was going to be good at wide receiver. The tight end, Max Clare, he's there now. He's there, right? And then they didn't get that boy yet. I don't think he's on the roster, the freshman tight end. I don't know how he's going to fit in. He'll be there next year for sure. All right, so look at the wide receiver production that's returning, right? Carnell Tate, number 6 wide receiver in this recruiting class. Brandon Ennis Jr. Brandon Ennis, we know he was a top 15 guy. Jeremiah Smith, the number 1. Quincy Porter, the top 10 guy from that last year's class, right? Then look at Phillip Bell, another top end guy. Desai Jones, like all of these top end wide receivers that he got available. And Julius saying, man, I'm telling you, he's another guy that I just didn't fit Alabama's system, Kalen DeBoer's system. He's gonna have success with Ryan Day. All these options he has available. He's a system quarterback. Timing, boom, drop back, see it, go. Dissect, see it, go. Get it out quick. That's what Sands on. That's what he on. Not the strongest arm either. Not the biggest guy. So we're going to see how it works out for him. All right, let's transition to some Alabama football recruiting talk as we celebrate our 25 likes on today's stream, man. On today's stream. Appreciate the 25 likes. As a matter of fact, let's get a big round of applause. And let's take a quick break here at the 57-minute mark here on the Coach Smook Network. While we're on this quick break, I'm going to get a little bit of water. Give me a little quick snack, little bite, because your boy getting hungry. I tell y'all, I've been working out every morning trying to keep my energy up and get back in some type of shape. But appreciate y'all for the 25 likes. We got 23 live over here on YouTube. Continue to run up the likes. And also in this quick segue break, I'm going to let you know, we're going to run the infomercial on how to join the AAA family, how you can support the network. But also, man, take a look at the high school promo. I'm trying to get it uploaded. Hopefully we can get it uploaded, man. The promo for today's hold on, let me see if I can pull it from over here real quick. I may be able to just pull it from here, chat. Please don't play no noise.
Two-tone.
Hold on, y'all. I got some TikTok audio. Let me play it for a second. And we live. Oh, snap. Look at TikTok. We live, baby. What's crazy is I might be able. Am I able to do this? I'm not. All right, so we got to figure out how to get this saved the right way. But if you haven't seen it already, the promo for the check them out, Coach. We're going to do a 12:30 hour high school highlight hour. High school highlight hour for our high school viewers and supporters that want their film reviewed. And this is the one where we're going to be able to create a lot of clips. And Dre Bailey tapping in over there on the TikTok side, tapping that screen, man. Coco, I see you, Mr. Marcus. Man, I see y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in and tapping that screen for your boy, bro. For real. Make sure y'all come and check in on that YouTube side, that Coach Smook on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Y'all know that's where the primary content is. Deborah, my big sister, good to see you in the chat again. Bama Boy 22 says drop the link in the chat. But the The live at 12:30 is going to be an hour live. We're just going to come and check out these high school kids, man. They're not all 5 stars. They're not all 4 stars. These are kids that are really looking for opportunities, and we want these young men to get every opportunity. And if using my platform is going to help them, I'm going to freaking do it. All right, so come and support these young men. It does not hurt for you to be sitting on lunch instead of scrolling on TikTok, looking at women shaking their tail or looking at some crazy stuff. Come support these young men. You love football, right? Come check them out. I got some quality guys lined up. Got some guys that's really been blowing up my inbox, wanting me to showcase their talents. And I told them, you better put some heat out there. If you don't, the people going to tell you, right? And so we're building that confidence. We're building that confidence in them to learn how to take both constructive criticism, both the hate, all of that stuff, and take the good stuff. So that's what we're doing here on the Coach Smook Network, and we're promoting these guys, and we're educating them on their opportunities at the next level. So if you want to support them, make sure you show up here on the Coach Smook Network at 12:30. We'll be live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Those are the 4 we'll be live on. We won't be live on Facebook. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We are gonna be live on Facebook. I lied. It's Twitch we're not gonna be live on. So Twitch, y'all won't be able to see it this evening at 12:30. So without further ado, man, this is how you become a member of the AAA Family Support. Shout out to our sponsors before we go into our segue. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out Ghost Energy Drink, Athlon, and every partner that we have at the high school level, all the high school programs that we cover, the players that we cover. Thank you, all the families. Thank you for supporting the Coach Smook Network. But this here is how you become a member of the AAA family and support the Coach Smook Network. Please take an opportunity and do so.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Somebody say, put me in the game, coach.
Let's go, chat. Let's go, man. I appreciate y'all for hanging out again. Back into it, man. Let's get into the conversation. How do I want to go along with this? I want to do it. Let's just talk about it. You all know how I do, man. We kind of review the recruits that are coming in this week, my energy behind some of the reports behind these recruits, and what I feel the best fit is for Alabama and how this staff is going to continue to direct their recruiting agenda, right? And I look at the guys that's coming on campus this year. I'm not going through the full list. If you want to go through the full list, Alabama Report, I forget the name of the channel. They do a pretty good job reporting on the official list. Also Crimson, over there on Crimson, not Locked In. Yeah, Locked In with Stein and Jimmy Stein and Luke. Those guys, I like their approach to it too. I catch theirs whenever I'm not doing my live, and then just to get the official visits, because you know they're there all the time. You know, they get the media side of things, release and stuff, and we're kind of just in there. We're just talking to the people there. So depending on who you talk to is what you get, but actual media release is what you're going to get. And a lot of times people that we're talking about may not be on the list, and they're considering being on the list as far as official visits. So it's a good space to be in between those dynamics of this. So talking about it here today, though, I would like to identify some highly valued targets that will be on campus this weekend. Well, that will be starting to be on campus this week. Today we have some guys that are highly valued. And I'm not going to necessarily say that they're actual targets that I believe Alabama can either flip or will gain any more interest from Bama, because 2 of the 4 that are confirmed on campus that are showing up on campus today, or should be already on campus showing up, Tristan Keys and Bacon from Hoover. What's the young man's name? Is it Tyler Bacon? Pull my list back up. What's that confirmed? Tyson Bacon. I said Tyler. Well, I don't think you start to see any type of movement with these young men. Tyson Bacon has been heavy on Miami. He committed to him earlier in May, I believe. That was when he announced that commitment. But just to have him on campus, you know, these young men enjoying their recruiting visits. You never know what can happen after a recruiting visit with this staff. And I keep saying this because you saw the same thing happen this past weekend. I think Nick Abrams and Michigan are still tight, but there's some serious talks about him having that interest in Alabama and developing in that inside linebacker room. Looking at the amount of production that can leave off of this roster, the amount of guys that can transition out of the program next year, whether it's portal, NFL eligibility, whatever it is, guys can really see an opportunity as young guys, but not even just as a young guy to get on the field, but you get to put yourself in the opportunities, you know, during practice, during walkthroughs and workouts to really be evaluated. So you have a real projection of your growth path, right? Your development curve. So Tyson Bacon is one of those guys I don't see really making a flip. He has an opportunity to go and be a day one impact starter at any school. But Miami has like, okay, we're losing 3 guys next year. You can come in and really have a real trajectory with your skill set and impact it for us today. Plus, we're going to hook you up with that money. That money on. You already know what time it is. You got to get the bag. You'll be a fool not to in today's day and age to go and get something that's going to assist you and whatever you have to do to accomplish your goals. You'll be a fool. I mean, I think that's for anything in life, right? Not just college football, right? But don't make that the priority. No, don't make the priority. And then also on campus today, Tristan Keys, the LSU wide receiver commit. I think he's another version of what you're getting out of what you got out of Caleb Cunningham in this last class, in the 25 class. And more so because of his skill set. And both of these guys, I believe, is Keys out of Mississippi? Because Ole Miss was heavy on Keys, right? Somebody fact check me on that. But I truly believe that a guy like Keys being at Alabama, I don't think you get an interest. Like I don't think his stance changed where he is with LSU. LSU has a future prospective list that really, when you look at what they're bringing in that 26 to 28 class, it wouldn't be crazy for LSU to be a national title contender, in 2027 2026, 2027. So I like Tristan Keys being on campus. It's attractive to be able to still gather attention from a 5-star wide receiver recruit. And then later on in the week to follow it up with, presumably, I believe our first wide receiver commit of this class that'll be, verbally committing is Cedarian Morgan. He'll be here Thursday to pop the weekend off, kind of leading off the weekend as I won't say the feature recruit, but he's going to be here. So just a few names that's here on campus already that I think, are notable to be mentioned. And then who else is on my list? Golden, that was last week. I don't have them in order. What's today? Today's the 17th. IMG young man from IMG, Preston Carey. He's on campus today, right? And I think Brandon Williams is coming back today or Thursday. Brian Williams. I said Brandon. Brian Williams. I think he's coming back either today or Thursday. And this will be his second visit. If this is confirmed, this will be his second visit this month or in a month's time. So that's huge. The wide receiver out of Florida. So that'll be huge. What's up, Davin? Good to see you in the chat, brother. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Drop a like. You know how we do, man. Share that thing up. So transitioning to more recruiting talk. I got some thoughts. I got some highly valued targets that I think Alabama is going to be keyed on this week. In this week's recruiting. And let's start it off right. My highly valued targets this week in recruiting. Let's start off with 5-star wide receiver from Benjamin Russell High School in Alabama. 5-star Cedarian Morgan, 6'4", 215. Going to give you a 4.49, 4.48, 4.51, anywhere in between there. Type top end speed in your 40. Super athletic, vertical, can stretch the field, can get in and out of his cuts, attacks the ball in the air, is a hard tackle in open field, can pull away from defenders, can create separation in his routes. In breaking routes, he's very aggressive in attacking the windows, understands cross-field concepts, dissecting cross-field concepts from the wide receiver position, can be an asset in your punt return, kick return game, right? A very athletic asset in the jump ball game in your red zone. We can't miss with Cedarian Morgan. Now, there are other wide receiver assets already on roster that kind of fill that same void, but you're talking about carrying on and winning the recruiting battle and having people in this class that really can say, hey, come play with me. Cedarian Morgan is one of those guys, along with another in-state talent, Xavier Crowell, that'll be here later on this week. You see 4-star Xavier Crowell, running back, 4-star running back, Jackson, Alabama product. We talked about him on the show the other day. Him and Landon Duckworth, they both showed us some love here on the Coach Smook Network. Shout out to my youngest, man. Cedarian and Xavier Crowell, they show us love. Ruffin, too. As a matter of fact, we got Golden, Ruffin. We get love from all them boys over here on the Coach Smook Network. So it's pretty funny that I got them on this list and they're all visiting University of Alabama same week, same time, right? So going to be an interesting week. And then again, Max Sutter, I talked about him. I'm a huge fan of Max Sutter from the 7-on-7 scene. Watching him play with the Midwest Boom the past 2 years, I believe. And he makes crazy plays in 7-on-7. You turn on the film, he's a playmaking tight end, more of the hybrid look that we're looking for that you're going to start seeing with Marshall Pritchett, Caleb Edwards, right? Max Sutter is the continuance of that, the continuing evolution of that. Cedarian Morgan is leading this group is because he just brings so much value at the wide receiver skill set. And you look at the wide receiver room at Alabama, I think his top schools right now, everywhere he's going is going to be a crowded room, but he's a skill set that doesn't matter where he goes, you're going to put him on the field. Same thing with Latier Brooks. We're going to lose 3 to 4 guys in the wide receiver room next season, maybe 5. Cedarian Morgan has space on his roster. It wouldn't be crazy to see Owen Capel, Cedarian Morgan, and maybe Brian Williams and a 4th guy commit in Corey Barber out of the in-state recruit that's currently committed to Ole Miss. Really high on his visit this past last week. So just kind of looking at the landscape of it, these are the highly valued targets that I believe are showing up this week. Emmanuel Ruffin. That's a guy that I'm excited about because one, he's not going to be talked about a lot. He doesn't make a lot of noise, but a Birmingham Bessemer kid that understands what playing at Alabama is. You know what that is for being in the state, but he also knows where he can go and develop as a huge interior defensive lineman. LSU is on him. That's a good spot to go and develop. Bo Davis is there, right, doing his thing. And Bo Davis, you talking about a recruiting battle between Bo Davis and Freddie Roach. You gotta enjoy it. Sit back and watch it, because that's what it is. It's literally two heavy hitting recruiters that's really going to be vying for your attention and can develop you and get you ready for the next level. That's the biggest thing about having Emmanuel Ruffin here this week. So we got to capitalize on it. Ruffin, Max Sutter, Xavier Crowell. Again, Xavier Crowell, I rock with my younger man. Tough runner. Probably your number 3, number 4 back in this class in the nation. Number 1 back in the state of Alabama. I think where he's going to improve at the next level is because of how patient he runs. His explosion out of his forward steps or his momentum steps, I think we'll see an increase in that once he gets to Alabama, and you'll see him develop into a top tier collegiate athlete. All right, some undervalued targets on campus today. Undervalued, meaning not a lot of people talking about them. They may be leaning somewhere, they may be committed, and people think they're just here for to check the block. But I think it's going to be more than that. I think we might get some reports from this. Let's start on the bottom end here, and I want to talk about this young man, Zaki Helton. I think, and I don't know if it was an official verbal commitment, but he was once a highly touted target for Alabama. He had a lot of interest in Alabama. I believe grew up an Alabama fan. You ask around his family, grew up an Alabama guy. I don't know what the shift was, with his recruiting, but the young man that committed to Georgia has been very vocal about his commitment to Georgia. Now, underrated interior offensive lineman, guard, whatever you want to call him. On the defensive side, he's effective also. So I wonder if that had something to do with his recruiting. I want to say Alabama having him this week is in my opinion, is a strategic move when you're having other defensive linemen here, in particular this week. You got the professional guys. Quentin Williams is on campus this week. Like, I want to say Reed. Jaron Reed is probably going to be on campus. I mean, like, this is the week where the big names come back. Julio, Mark Ingram, all those guys, they come back and they're here to impact this recruiting. You get a guy like not Lasiah Jackson. You get a guy like Zaki Helton on campus this week to talk and get hands-on with these guys, do a workout or two, maybe a workout with some of the guys that's currently in the NFL, guys that's currently at the University of Alabama. And I think you're going to see this thing get interesting with his commitment, because at one point he was very interested in Alabama, and he's a bigger frame defensive lineman. I see Alabama starting to target these guys a lot more of the bigger frame guys, with that 6'2 plus 290 plus frame coming in, being able to pack on. Zaki Helton might grow another 2 inches over the next year and a half. He might end up being 6'3", 6'4". So I like what we're seeing in this. Bo Davis with the Saints now. Oh, sure, y'all right. You absolutely right. Bama boy. Yeah, you absolutely right. So we might. Oh my God, that changed my whole perspective. And see, that lets you know that I don't act like I know everything. Okay, I forgot all about that, and I remember it. I remember the hire and everything because we talked about it on the show. It just slipped my mind. When you think LSU, a recent past, you think Bo Davis and the defensive line product that he produces year in and year out. So appreciate that, Bama boy, for getting your boy squared away, getting that boy squared away. But dang, that really does make a difference in that recruiting with Ruffin. With Ruffin, that makes a difference in that recruiting with Ruffin. in-state kid. Freddie Roach is here, putting in guys in left and right, NFL left and right. We gotta be able to try to pull that one. That's a huge asset. What else? Where were we at? We were talking about undervalued guys, undervalued targets that people aren't talking about. We talked about Zaquee Helton, Mitchell Smith, 3-star, committed to Ole Miss. What does this interior offensive lineman do that makes me want to say that he's valuable, right? What does this interior offensive lineman and may play tackle, has the size and the frame, but I think with this group, Alabama might pull him into the interior. He'll be a big frame interior guy. His skill set to me says interior. He's classified as a tackle, but I think his skill set says interior. And looking at what we're losing in the interior offensive line, on the interior of our offensive line this year, you get an opportunity to come in and develop underdeveloped guy at his size and at his position, but he has a size 6'6", 320 pounds. Yeah, most would usually say that's tackle, right? With the new age tackle, but I think Alabama probably keeps him at 315, 330 in between there, and put him at guard. I see it happening. 6'5", 6'6". Jada Roberts 6'5". Y'all, my hair growing. It's in my eye. What y'all talking about? But anyways, I think that's a good prospect to have on campus this week. Undervalued. Currently, I think he's leaning towards Ole Miss. I don't think he's committed to Ole Miss. I just have strong feels that he's leaning towards Ole Miss. I mean, schematically, I think Ole Miss will put him at tackle. His skill set fits that type of that scheme. And then the other two guys that I want to talk about, Javari Barnett and Lasai Jackson. Now, with Barnett, I want to pull up his profile. I'm going to pull up his 247 profile here. Let's talk about Barnett. He's a running back, 5'11", out of Tampa, Florida. Alabama has been heavy in Florida trying to find a running back, right? And good reason why. Saban, Coach G know where to go to get the style of running back for what he's trying to get in as far as production. He knows where to go, where to find them. Ironically, we know that young man that was here earlier, Cooper. What was the young man's name? It wasn't Cooper. Or was it Cooper? I'm tripping. Derek Cooper. Yeah, it was Derek Cooper. Derek Cooper that was here earlier for a visit last week. Last week he was here. You see how the tide changed as far as his commitment, interest in Alabama, right? I look at this roster right now, and I look at a guy like the young man here. I'm sorry, I forgot to put my banner up here. The red one. There we go. I look at it, and I look at Javari Barnett. The skill set, he fits Alabama. And you look at the size, he's literally a Jam Miller, right? 5'11 and a half, 6 foot, 205 already. The young man is a downhill runner, though. More so of the type that we saw, the type of running we saw from Richard Young. Same size and frame as Richard Young here, right? You look at the running backs on Alabama's roster. There are 6 currently committed, right? 6 on roster. You got Crowell in this class. You got Dre Washington that's going to be leaving. Richard Young might come back for another year. Jam Miller's going to the draft. So you're going to have 4 backs on roster. You might lose one, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Riley or Daniel Hill. I don't think Daniel Hill is going to be the one. If Riley was the one to maybe hit the portal, but I don't see why after next year when it's going to be literally 2 new freshmen coming in. Now you have your chance to have that 1 year of quality production, being the 2-back system that Kalen DeBoer and his staff like to run. So having the young in here, Javari Barnett, is going to be key. Currently committed to Illinois, been committed since April. Those early commits are never safe. We've seen it happen to Bama. And we might have a live recruiting check-in, a recruiting update on a target that I've been following for about 2 years now. And a lot of Auburn fans. All right. Live check-in. Mary J, I need you to type something up real quick. Okay, we had the hour 15-minute mark, hour 25. We're going with hour 45 today. We could do it. It's Tuesday. Give me a second. I'm about to pull this up. We got a live check-in. I just got tapped in. 4-star recruit. A lot of Auburn fans love him or loved him. All right, and then I'm gonna find the profile over here. All right, y'all, bear with me real quick, chat. All right. Got that right there. And then we can also go over here. All right, so I'm about to send this link to him, and then we'll have him on momentarily. Live check-in right now. All right, so we set up now. All right, so we're going to be having a recruit come on here. He's not an Alabama target, a heavy Alabama target, but this is a young man that was an in-state talent. Just recently transferred outside the state of Alabama to finish off his high school collegiate career. 4-star linebacker. We're going to talk to him, check in with him. Somebody that I have a personal relationship with, going to follow his journey no matter where he commits. Y'all know we building a network and building a family. I'm going to follow this young man. I support him. I love his energy, love his approach to the game, and everything that he brings to what he does at the high school level. Shout out to all the viewers, man. We got 22 still hanging out here. We were not to go past the hour 15, but we're going to take it to hour 45 today because I feel like we had that good of a show. And I'm going to check in with my boy right now. I'm about to check in with him right now. Told him I sent the link. Get him in there. And then once he comes on, we'll be straight. Let me see if I can get this set up for him too. See if we can find that for him. That'd be cool. Yep, that's where he was. All right. All right, so we got and for everybody that's wondering, let me see. All right, let's do it. We got for everybody that's wondering who it is, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the profile. He's just getting done with his workouts. And this is an honor too, man. Checking in with Coach Smook, doing how we do. 4-star linebacker, man. Former Auburn commit, just decommitted. Seeing his recruiting stock rise as he continues to enjoy this journey. I continue to support a 4-star linebacker, J. Mike Garrett, my youngin'. What's good, man? How you feeling today, boy?
I'm feeling good. How you doing?
I'm feeling good, man. Look at you. Why you always gotta have this business look on your face, man?
Because I'm cleaning up for my teammates right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Now I feel you. They ain't doing their part.
It's all our
Okay.
parts.
Okay.
We hold
Look,
the spot.
see, leader. That's
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
talking about, man. It's good to see you, man. You know, I've been I had to kind of back off and let you do your thing while your stock rise, man. And I'm so proud to see how you handling it
Yes,
and
sir.
just this process for you, man. I'm proud of you. How's everything been going since the transfer, man? Give everybody an update of what's happened since the transfer, man.
So, I came from Gulf Shores, Alabama to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm at Central High School. It's been a good transition. I took a break with my recruiting process and just focused on the high school part, just being a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because recruiting part gonna come. So took me a smooth little break, got through spring, and after spring, decided to take some things into consideration, and it ended with me decommitting from the school I was committed to for almost a year. But
yeah.
everything happened for a reason. It's God's plan, and my mind is open during my recruiting process.
Awesome, man. And that's that's the first thing me and you talked about when you came up on Alabama's radar last spring. And
Yes,
and
sir.
I we talked about it in that space, and I said at the end of the day, as much of an Alabama fan as I am, I'm more of a fan of these young men having success. And your
Right.
mindset, we've always commended you on your mindset and your approach to this process, or just the attention that you're gathering. And to
Yes,
see
sir.
you at Central in Baton Rouge, people don't know that's a program. They play some competition. There's some dogs come from that area, so you're going to
Most
be in a
definitely.
different level of a competition, and that's going to help and benefit you in the long run. So I love the decision for you, man. And I've been seeing a lot of buzz around your recruiting, with some of the schools that you're gaining some interest in. So Coach Smook gonna be right there on the inside, trying to make sure you right there doing what you got to do to get there, man.
Yes,
What
sir.
we looking forward to as far as this senior year, man? With this squad, what position you still in the inside linebacker room? You coming off the edge? What you doing this year to complete
Um,
this high school career?
Honestly, a little bit of everything. Our coaches was expressing to the team. It might be a situation where Jay might need to run a go guard, where Jay might go to running back, and just it's really whatever my team needs me. This is a state championship program. They won state last year, so coming in, I didn't want to exceed my role. Of course, I have leadership capabilities, but I let my grind show. Then, as my grind show, I decided to show with my words too. So we getting better as a team. We got a young squad, and we got a lot of D1 young guys. I feel like I'm gonna keep saying this. I feel like we got the best 27 class in the state of Louisiana, and as long as
Ooh,
we continue to grow as a team, the sky is the limit. Honestly,
facts, man, facts. Well, I'm gonna let you go, and we always gonna check in with you, man, and support you, and keep us updated, man, on this process, man. We wanna keep letting this type of energy from more recruits like yourself, man. That it ain't about a bag. This young man really considering what his future, what's gonna be best for his future, and I love it. I love what I'm hearing. That's trending too. I love what I'm hearing. So we're
yes,
gonna
sir.
talk about it. I'm gonna keep doing my part on my end, and you keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you. All right.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you. You've been here since before these first offers, so I appreciate you, man. Say
Hey,
love.
that's all that's all I'm gonna keep echoing. It ain't about clicks. It ain't about the Hayes Fawcett level of this. I want quality young men to continue to. My thing is, I want to put guys like you out there to say it's cool to be squared away. It's cool to be focused. It's cool to
Right.
be locked in on your goals so that you can reach the ultimate goal, which is the NFL. There's no secret. You're not going out there saying, I want to be a civil engineer by
Right.
putting your body on the line. You want to make it. You want a chance to make it to the NFL. You
Yes,
want a
sir.
chance to change your family life. So I'm proud of you, man. Do what you got to do, and we're gonna catch up later. I'll catch up with you, man. All right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Everybody, Jake Mike, 4-star linebacker, Jake Mike Garrett, man. Catch up with you, my guy. Hey, y'all, that's my youngin', man. I told y'all this thing is more than just clicks for me. I'm telling y'all, it's really about seeing these young men be successful and do what they do best, and that's go out there and perform and be quality athletes, be quality young men, and really pour back into their community, because there's a young man right now that's watching J Mike, right, from Gulf Shores, Alabama, and watch him be a star, a local star, and now he's had to make this transition to this new school, and you can tell, man, the young man just carries the persona of leadership, quality. No matter which program he goes to at the next level, they're getting a quality guy. He's a green room day one draft picks type of guy. Size and frame is there. The young man can play on both sides of the ball. we'll talk about them a little bit more. But let's go ahead and get out of here, chat. That's going to be it for today's show. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe here on the YouTube side. Don't forget to follow on all platforms at Coach Smook. Check out our merch in our link tree. We got all the links to socials, and our merch is in the link tree link at the front of the page, the main page here on YouTube at Coach Smook. And if you're live on TikTok, man, make sure y'all continue to tap that screen on the exit out and let me know where you're watching from. Shout out to my sister Paris coming through again with the GGs, the gifts. Appreciate you, sis, for showing love. Amberly joined. Hey, shout out to Amberly, my beautiful women in my chat over there on TikTok. See, that's why I love TikTok, y'all. TikTok bringing the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Let me stop. Y'all know I'm a clown. Nah, for real. I appreciate all the support on all platforms. Twitch, I see you over there. I think we had one comment on Twitch. I don't know if that was a bot or not, but we ended up having 4 viewers on Twitch at some point during the show, Mary J. I was trying to get a picture of it. That's a monumental thing. Us getting action on Twitch is crazy, right? Because I don't do nothing on Twitch. But here on YouTube, a peak viewership of 38 today, live viewers. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Don't forget to like that screen. Like the stream, tap the screen, like it, hit the thumbs up. We got the live at 12:30, highlights, high school highlight hour with Coach Smook. Check them out. If you got highlights you want to submit, you watch me on Twitter, prospects, jump in the DMs, me, Brody Smook, at Brody Smook, jump in there. I'm going to try to get Brody on with me at noon to do reactions with me, and it's going to be a vibe. But with that being said, remember, when you see me in the street, holler and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live. Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Hey, y'all, I'll catch y'all on. Above all, it's something they can never be. Just my humble opinion, they fair weather jealousy. Triple A, we down, we don't change boat. Alabama roll
in the game go.